So I'm going to start out this session just talking a little bit about my passion. And for a while now, I realized that my biggest passion is people, and not just people, but seeing people or helping people live the lives that they've always dreamed of. Helping people know who they are. And you see, when you know who you are, it's like the biggest piece of the puzzle that just connects a lot of all the other pieces of the puzzle. And that has been my biggest passion for a long time. I think for a while I didn't know what my passion was, and I was confusing the expression of my passion for my passion. So I thought design was my passion, but I actually got to realize that design was just an expression of an interest in people and trying to help them find what they love doing. So when I do design for fashion design, for a fashion designer or a fashion design company, I enjoy doing the design and I put my best into it. And I used to think it was because I really love design. Yeah, I do love design, but I realized that there was a greater love for the person who was running the fashion brand and wanting to see that person do well and enjoy the job they did. And so I got to realize very recently that my biggest passion is people and helping people live that life that they want to live. And I'm sure when a lot of people hear this, they think, oh, helping people make a lot of money. Yeah, money it's by the way, money is a byproduct of living a life that you actually desire to live and enjoying what you do. That happens. But I think beyond money is the satisfaction and the peace that comes from self-realization and just knowing that you are here for a purpose and you found that purpose and you're fulfilling that purpose. So it's always a great joy to consult for young people, especially young people, young businesses. I find it especially easy to talk to people in their 20s, early 20s, mid 20s. Yeah, early mid 20s. I enjoy talking to them because I see them as people who can take risk, because they don't have a lot leveraging on it, on their taking risk. So if things appear to fail, it fails for them, and it doesn't have a domino effect or a cascading effect on people around them. However, um, I, I, from my experience, the hardest thing has been consulting and advising married people. And I'm always very careful, and over the years I've been avoiding it because it's so hard, because I can relate with the burden that a lot of married people, married people with family, married people with children, married people without children. I can relate with a lot of burdens that they carry, because when you become more than one person, there's a lot of burden, and they're not just self-imposed burdens. A lot of them are societal, real burdens that you carry mentally, and there's a fear that comes with that of, oh, I cannot take this decision because it's going to affect this person, and that person can be your husband or your wife or your kids, and that kind of hampers people from living their lives and living their dreams and doing those things that they've always wanted to do. So you have this set of people that are married that kind of feel like marriage stole my dreams. And I just want to address that right now, because it's something that I've always tried to avoid, just talking to that married person that is telling me, look, I really want to do this, but I'm not sure this can make me enough money to continue to pay my kids' school fees or to continue to contribute to the family purse, for us to be able to meet up with the rent and stuff like that, or take care of my parents or stuff like that. Those burdens that come, that kind of feel like put you in a position where you put your dreams on the back seat. and you now do things that you really do not want to do just to meet up with these demands. Now, I can relate because I was like that. And I'll just tell you a little story about how I started out. Well, I started out as a graphic designer in 2004. And right straight up the bat, I was a very ambitious graphic designer. I started out with big dreams, wanting to be at the top of my industry. I was a big dreamer. I was always daydreaming about being the best designer out there. I was daydreaming about awards. I was daydreaming about getting big projects, being featured in publications and magazines and stuff, going abroad to study. Those were my dreams. I was dreaming every day, constantly, even before I became a good designer, even before I became an average designer. At that time, my skills were still pretty poor, but my dreams were big, far exceeded what I knew how to do in terms of ability. So, but I had dreams. But one thing I realized is between 2004 and 2008, there was such a rapid growth in my journey as a designer. I did so many things I didn't think, you understand, I could have done then. A lot of things just came into alignment very fast. Those things I dreamt about. I got the chance to go to Canada, to study graphic design, and I never thought that could happen. I dreamt of it, but there was a know-how to how it happen, because it wasn't like there were finances available to go there, or I knew schools where I could study. But things just aligned. The schools came to Nigeria. They were recruiting. I got the chance to meet with them. I was able to talk to my parents. At that point, the money was available for them to make that happen, and everything just knocked on effect. And I went to Canada to study, and I got to school. I was on the President's Honor Roll twice. I was put on a judges panel for the city of Niagara for awards and stuff. I was featured on magazines, and all those things were happening so fast without any conscious effort of me working towards it. But all I kept doing was dreaming, and things just kept on falling in place. It's so hard to explain in words how you can dream and things just align. It's such a spiritual thing that is hard to explain. But at that time, between 2004 to 2008 or 2010, things moved really fast, and I was progressing in my work. But in 2011, I got married. I came back to Nigeria and I got married, and it was great because I got married to my sweetheart, who I'd been dating for a long time. But when you get married, a reality sets in, and this is where married people really need to pay some attention. A reality sets in of, oh man, now I need to take care of this person, and that's for, especially when it comes to the men, or the women feel, oh, now I need to contribute or assist this man in running this family, and that's when we start to stop dreaming. That's when we stop dreaming. That's the beginning of the compromise, and that happened to me, because then it was real that, okay, I was answerable to my wife. I felt I was answerable to my wife, and the dream stopped, and I became responsible, in quotes, and then people say it a lot. Oh, you become responsible now, so you've gotten married, and I understood what that meant. I became responsible, and I stopped dreaming, and I started thinking about the bottom line, which was, how much am I making from this? How much am I making from this? Is this person paying? If they're not paying, I'm not working. You understand? So I stopped dreaming, I stopped being adventurous, and I started being responsible. And when you stop doing that, then the ride begins to get slow. and things started to get slow for me. It was almost like I was stepping on the brakes, and all those things I wanted to happen stopped happening. Life just became like a grind of get clients, work, get paid, and pay for this, pay bills. So life became about paying bills, so that we could live what seemed like a comfortable life without an embarrassment of lacking specific things. And you know, things even it took another dimension when we started having children, and then there was more responsibility, and then there was more compromise, and there was less dreaming, and then life just became kind of boring. And I thought I had lost my passion for design because it just became a grind now. And that's where a lot of married people find themselves, in that place where I cannot do this thing anymore. I cannot chase this dream anymore because I'm married and I'm now responsible. If I skip chasing this dream, then I will be seen as irresponsible. And if I'm seen as irresponsible, then there will be a problem. There will be a problem in my marriage. I won't be able to meet up with my children's needs. I won't be able to meet up with school fees, or buying food at home, or paying the rent, or doing this. And society will see me as irresponsible. So we give up, and we start living these sad lives of unfulfillment. And that happened to me from that 2011 right up to 2018. Because the funny thing is that, you know, you see yourself actually making money because that now becomes your focus. But you're not spending the money on things you really want to spend it on. You're spending on bills, on fees, on, you know, things like that. And then it almost seems like you're in survival mode. And that's what it was. That was for me from 2011 to like 2018, when I had a conversation with my wife, and she was like, okay, we need extra income in this house. We actually do need extra income. What can we do? And then she asked me a question which I hadn't asked myself in a very long time, because I was too involved in the grind. She said, what do you actually like to do? And I said, I like to design. She said, no, apart from design, that's like your job. What else do you like to do? And I thought about it and said, you know what, I like having conversations with people and helping them with their businesses and talking them through living their passion, you know, going after their passion, living a life from a passion point of view, doing what you love, finding themselves. I love doing that, especially with people in the design industry. I said, why don't you just do that? Why don't you start a YouTube channel? And you know, when she said it, you know, one of the first things that came to my mind, which is a question that normally kills dreams in his infancy, is how does that convert to money? You understand? When you have a dream, one of the most dangerous things you can do is ask yourself how it can convert to money. And that's where people get it wrong. They start having that money thought in the infancy of the dream. You understand? The dream wants to express itself without constraints. But when you constrain it to how can I convert it to money? How can people pay me from this? Then a lot of people give up and say, I don't know how this can make money. So if you love juggling as an adult, you kind of think, okay, I think I should stop juggling. I don't think I should juggle, because when I juggle, how can I make money from juggling? If I were to juggle at parties, how much would they pay me? So you kind of constrain the dream or the passion of juggling because you're trying to figure it out. But the thing about passions and dreams is that they have a life of their own, which we can never envisage. We cannot. We can only express, but where it's going to end up, we can never envisage. They have a life of their own. So, you know, when she told me about that YouTube channel, I said, oh, I need to get subscribers, then YouTube will start paying me. I'm like, no, that's going to be too long. But then I thought about it. I said, this is what I want to do. Irrespective of getting paid by YouTube or gathering subscribers, I just want to do it because it fulfills me. So I started the YouTube channel and I started to put out content, and I felt that Tola Alabi from 2004 again, that guy that was a dreamer, and I started dreaming about putting out content, and then it became clear where I wanted to be in the future. It became clear what I wanted to do, and I started to dream again about the future, and things started to happen again. Life became exciting again. I loved to wake up, I loved to go to bed. I was excited again about life. And that's where a lot of married people with family get it wrong. They stop to dream. And when you stop to dream, you stop getting that excitement about life that gets you to that place that you ought to be. We stop to dream. We mortgage our dreams for being responsible because we think, how will I make money from this dream? Because what becomes important is money. But I would say it again that money is a byproduct. It's a byproduct. It is not the focus. So you see, when I started making that YouTube content, things started happening. Again, things started aligning. It just led into my mentoring program. With my mentoring program, we became a source of income, but it wasn't really like I wanted to be a source of income. It's just what I wanted to do as something I loved doing. But it became an extra source of income. And there's no way I would have ever dreamt and thought of that. You understand? I started getting clients from my YouTube content. I got one of the biggest clients I've ever had for my YouTube content. The biggest client. And the person just said, "Oh, we watched your video and I think we should come to our organization to teach us about branding." And I was like, "How much are you going to pay?" And they told me the amount. And my mind was blown. I never made that amount from design ever. But that came from just expressing what I wanted to do without having to think of how does this convert to money. So you see, as a married person, as a family person, I'm going to say this thing and it's going to sound a little bit controversial, but you need to live life a little less responsibly. You see, that responsibility of I cannot dream anymore or else people will suffer keeps us restrained. And I've come to this realization, and I always say this with my wife, that you know what? I come first in my life. It sounds selfish, but when you look at it, it's almost one of the most selfless things you can do, putting yourself first. Because when you put yourself first in your life and realizing what your purpose is, giving more time to realizing what your purpose is and chasing it, you'd realize that your life will make more meaning to a larger number of people. But what the mistake a lot of people make is that they put their spouses first and their children first. So their life becomes so narrow, their influence becomes so small to that husband and 2 children or 3 children. That's where the influence is. You understand? So you work for them and it doesn't go beyond them. But the person who finds himself and follows their dream works for a whole other number of people that might not even be within the family unit. A lot of time not within the family unit. A lot of people not within your state. A lot of people not within your sex. A lot of people not within your country. Not within your race. And you realize that your life has bigger impact. And because of that bigger impact, you realize that you make a bigger impact on those people who are within your inner circle, your husband, your wife, your children. Because you know what? A lot of people with family focused on their children and like, oh, we made this decision for the children, or we are moving away from Nigeria or relocating to another country because of the children's future. And I'm like, think, what of your future? Do you understand? What of your future? Because if your future is good, then one or two things are going to happen. Your children are going to remember you as a parent that went after what they truly loved and did it. And that's going to give a moral example to your children to say, you know what, my dad, my mom went after their dreams and they did it. So right now I'm going to go after my dreams. But if they see you doing a job you don't like, it becomes an example to the children and say, you know what, life is not about going after your dreams and doing what you like. Because you see, I saw my dad go to a job he hates. So I hate my job right now, but I think it's okay because my dad hated his job too. And that now becomes a problem. And that is where married people and people with family get it wrong. You need to put yourself first and find yourself so you can serve more people. So stop. You cannot afford to stop dreaming. You must dream more. You see, like when I talk to my children right now, I talk to my daughter, she's telling me, oh, I want to be a YouTuber. I want to make YouTube content. But it's I'm not surprised by that, because I'm one of the first people she saw making YouTube content, and that really inspired her. She wasn't seeing the money, it wasn't money she was seeing. She just saw that I was always excited, getting dressed to do my content and recording and buying equipment, and that kind of excited her. And that has set her on a path right now to say, you know what, that excites my dad, and I want that kind of future for myself. And now she's dreaming big about being a big content maker and a YouTube sensation, and that's what she's thinking. She's dreaming so big, and it's going to happen. And that only happened because she saw me do it. So you see, that's the biggest legacy you can leave for your children, is to keep dreaming. You must dream and focus on that future. See yourself as that thing you want to be in future. If you're a married person, you have a family, you have kids, yes, you have responsibilities, but your first responsibility in life is to find yourself. Because when you find yourself, you become happy, and you always bring a happy, fulfilled person to every relationship. So when you spend time with your children, they see a happy, fulfilled father and mother. When you spend time with your spouse, they see a happy, fulfilled partner, and they're happy to spend time with you. But when you're doing something you do not love, and you do not have a clear vision of where you want to be, and it doesn't excite you, you live a somewhat compromised life. And you bring that compromised life to every relationship. So when you meet with your children, they see a parent that is frustrated because of compromises he has made or she has made, and then you see that you become an angry parent. So kids do something that is childlike, innocuous. It becomes frustrating to you, and like, no, don't do that. No, don't jump on the chair. No. You become the shouty, angry, frustrated parent because you are not fulfilled as a person. So you're not happy with yourself. When you come to your partner, you bring that angry, frustrated person to that relationship. So it's hardly loving. It's always argumentative about money, about it's always heated. So you see, that's why I said the first obligation you have is to yourself as a person. If you can find yourself and keep dreaming and keep seeing yourself where you want to be, then I don't even think marriage or children can stop you from fulfilling that which you should do. Marriage is not a death sentence to your dreams. As a matter of fact, marriage should propel you to wanting to live your dreams the more, because it now means you are now answerable to more relationships which needs the best of you. So you need to find the best of you at all times. So I hope this session is able to help somebody today who is married with kids and feels like life has become mundane by virtue of this fact, and has hung their dreams up somewhere, and your dreams are in a closet, and just feel, I'm too responsible to follow that dream. I want to encourage you today to go back into that closet and get that dream out and put it in the laundry and start putting it on and let it excite you every single day. The biggest gift I have is not the gift of my bank balance. It's the gift of being able to wake up every day excited about being me, loving my face, loving my voice, loving my name, because I'm doing what I love. That's the greatest gift you can give to yourself. And once you give yourself that gift, you realize that you would share that gift with every single person you come in contact with, and that's how the world gets better.